something,
Because
yeah,
we'll be,
we'll yeah.
we'll end up chatting, and then we'll get to 9 o'clock. They'll be like, "Oh shit, I haven't pressed record." And then we'll have said all of these beautiful things. Anyway,
I feel like
there you go.
midnight. Well, we're meant to
Ignore the
do
record
something.
button.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. So somebody messaged me last week saying, are you always up? Like, what do you do on a down day? And I think it's that thing, isn't it, of you believe what you see. So you see somebody's posts or just see them in life and they always seem like they've got everything together. It's not telling the whole truth, is it? It's not telling the whole story. So actually me wearing a nice leopard print shirt on top, but then if you look underneath, I'm wearing my pink animal print.
Did you post that on Instagram?
My stories now.
You were mixed matching.
I'm mixed matching.
I'll have to find that.
Yeah, because I think it's just that thing, isn't it, of going, like, don't be afraid to tell your truth, isn't it? And yes, it is scary because you open yourself up, don't you? And you're vulnerable then to criticism. But actually, I like to think that I will show you my humanity.
Yes.
And hopefully you, in return, will show me yours. And it'll help out both our shoulders drop and just go, me too. So, I spoke to that person. I sent them a little voice note saying, no, of course I'm not always up. Like, it's human, isn't it? We're not always. This has a cost. Do you know what I mean? Like energy, isn't it? And it has to come out somewhere.
How amazing that person felt like they could reach out to you as well and ask that question, because your little voice note may have just made the difference that they needed today. And it kind of, it comes back to what we were talking about just a moment ago about, Donna Ashworth replying to my message. It's that connection that drives us forward, isn't it? And is really refreshing to meet people who are willing to be vulnerable with you, because it does make you relax. It does allow you to be authentic. And I think, I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm really on that path of self-discovery again. Like I feel like I'm a teenager going through puberty again. Like I'm learning what I like, what I don't like, what I'm willing to put up with where my boundaries need to be.
Yes.
But I'm doing it with fresh eyes, but I'm doing it also with the wisdom and the insights and the experience that I've got now, which makes it even more palpable and like
more,
raw and real.
Yes, absolutely. And like a little bit more confidence, because it's almost like we understand ourselves a little bit more now, that kind of. But I think it is like a new stage, I think, once you've had children as well. And, you can't have gone through a massive life experience like having children and not be changed by it or not expect to be different, isn't it? And I think, I can't remember who it was, but said about the like flamingos who lose their pink, like when they have little ones, and then actually takes a little while to kind of bring their pink back. So maybe we're just bringing our pink back, like we're just working out who we are with fresh eyes, isn't it? And we've got better understand, like you said, of our boundaries, of what we like, what makes a difference, who matters to us, and like you're right, it is vulnerable to be open and honest. And I am definitely an oversharer. Like I am such an oversharer. Everybody knows that. I'm like, oh, there's the line, everybody. I just found it for everyone. So if you want to step back, by all means, but I found it for everyone. Maybe the postman doesn't need to know everything about me, and maybe I could just take the parcel. But I'm sure he likes the chat. But yeah,
it's funny because, like, I don't know about you, but I sometimes find it really difficult to find the joy of motherhood, because like having Oscar has made me realize all of my faults and flaws and foibles and in those moments, I mean, we were talking about it a few weeks ago, and I was saying I can remember him being smaller, and I remember being much more joyful back then because it was just us two. I think during COVID, it almost intensified those feelings. Whereas now, maybe it's because I'm back at work, but sometimes I find it really hard to kind of see those little glimmers. Maybe it's because I'm too tired, or so many things to organize when they go to school. I don't know did you feel this as well when they went to school? It's like a completely different like step change.
And there's just like so many more things to feel guilty about, also like so many more messages and WhatsApps coming through, or things to remember. And actually my husband could be quite better at remembering some stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay. But there's so many plates to spin, aren't there? And I remember years ago, I think it might have been Anna, saying, if you drop a ball when you like, it's not a sign on your failure to juggle them all. It's just, it's a fact. It's an insight to how many you're trying to juggle. And I think I love that compassion and that grace, and going, you're doing the best you can. But I think when we are overloaded, and especially, you're also working in school as well, so your overdrive, your like sensitivity, your touch, like
Yes.
I'd, when I come back from school, I used to like pull up in the car on the drive and just go, I'm just going to sit in the car
Yeah.
and have my own spa break here.
Yeah.
You're like, and I just couldn't quite transition. And they're like,
I'm like that as well.
yes, yeah. But I
Yeah.
think because it's that we're juggling so many things and we're jumping roles so
Mm.
often. And I just think you've got to give yourself so much grace in that and go, this is a gear change and that takes something from me. And it does, it takes something
It
from you.
does.
And actually, not all motherhood is joyful. Like, let's just be honest and real about it and go, I am far from Mary Poppins. I don't know about you, but
I'm
like,
definitely not Mary
yeah,
Poppins.
I definitely am not Snow White. I don't have all the animals coming in to clean my house. Like,
Dude.
I'm, get your shoes on. I mean, have your shoes on. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. So, but I think that's the thing, isn't it? I think we in our world now of constant bombardment, we also get constant images of like perfect homes and perfect children and
Yes.
perfect parenting, and you should be doing this and the shoulds and the guilt. And you know what? Love your children
That's
and
it.
do the best you can, and they don't need a perfect parent. Like, and I same for teaching. When I was like I'm doing supply now, but like when I was in a class, and I'll say to my supply classes, like I am not perfect. They don't need a perfect teacher either. And I need to model messing up. Because I
Yeah.
think I definitely come from a background where adults weren't allowed to show that. Do you mean like
Very
teachers?
much so.
Teachers are perfect, parents are
Yes.
perfect, and never questioned anything. So we are now like parenting in a very different way to the way that we are parented. So we've got to give ourselves like credit and grace in that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that's why I think come around my house and take me as you find me.
Yeah.
I might be matching
Yes.
like top to bottom, but I'll embrace you all the same. And I don't have all my ducks in a row. Hopefully, I don't even know my ducks are half the time. Like hopefully it will just reassure you, do you know what I mean, that
Yeah.
we are normal and we are doing our best to laugh even at
Yes.
ourselves, like along the way. And actually then those glimmer moments, when you do have a moment, stop and drink it in and just say out loud. And that's my whole loving loudly is say
Yes.
out loud, well, isn't this lush? Isn't this
Mm.
lovely? And my mum is amazing for it. My mum is just like, oh, she's phenomenal. She's just a wave of love, my mum. And she's got no idea how lush she is, which makes her even lusher. But she like she sent me a message today saying on the phone, they're up in Blackpool, and she's like, how are my babes about her grandchildren? You're like, so I think it's just, and she will go, you could take her to the tip and she'd be like, oh, well, isn't this lovely? Like, so she has just got that way,
Yes.
but she's taught me, I think, and I suppose from the joy coaching, I can kind of see it
Yes.
from that kind of viewpoint now, that when you do say it out loud, you anchor yourself in the now.
Yes.
And I think it just drops you in the present. So, and that's a gift because we are speeding, aren't we? And it's job lists and it's things to do and we're tired and, and life is thick and it's fast and time won't pause for you. So
It
I think,
will.
it's like loving loudly makes me pause it just for
Yeah.
myself, that kind of like, and just saying it out loud. And I think, that gratitude, and is infectious to other people around you as well.
Yeah.
Like, I've definitely noticed different people like say things more now because of it, which is lush.
That is
So
nice.
yeah, it's really lush.
I mean, tonight I got home and I did yoga club after rehearsals. So I got home about 5:15. Completely forgot what day it was, and I saw my mum's car and I was like, what's she doing here? And I walked in and was like, what day is it?
Who am I? Where am
Who
I?
am I? Where am I? But yeah, we just sat chatting and talking about school and the assembly that he'd listened to and what he could remember. And then we snuggled up on the sofa and watched Bluey.
Oh, I love Bluey.
So, I love Bluey. I could watch those episodes like on my own.
Yeah, I think, yeah,
cry at
absolutely.
episodes.
Have
They're
you seen?
nuts.
There's one that resonated so deeply for me. I think I did a reel ages ago about it.
Yeah.
It's when is it Bingo? It's got the yes no button. And
Yes.
there's this gorgeous, and everybody's like using their free dances or something, isn't
Yes.
it? And she's just saying yes all the time when deep down she wants to say no, and then she's really upset. And they're like, did your inside voice want to say no, but your outside
Yes.
voice said yes? And I was there like, yes,
I know. I
yes.
love that one as well. And I love the sleepy time, I think it is, when Bingo loses her toy
Mm.
and she goes into space. and
Yes.
that she goes to the sun and it's the mother's warmth that's
Yes.
kind of that she's
Yes.
holding
Yes.
on to. Oh my gosh. Honestly, I could watch those episodes. Anyway, we
Yes.
digress.
But isn't it fun?
It
Yeah, yeah.
is fun. So I've got all of these questions here. It's hilarious because on my script, the first question is, how are you? Um, what have you found joyful about today? I mean, this is,
Yes.
I've got so many. I've got the questions that I posted to you, but
Yes.
what have you found joyful today?
What have I
Can you
found
pick
joyful
any
today?
moments?
Yes, I went for I laughed at myself because I arranged office club Monday. Whenever I can, we do office club, and it's just two of the mums from school, and we did it last year to kind of motivate each other and
Okay.
encourage each other. We'd meet in the pub down the road from school, and yeah, a couple of hours when my littlest was in nursery, so to
Yeah.
drop them off and then go to office club, and we've kept it going, and
Wow.
yes, it's lovely. So it's really, really nice. So I was we always laugh because we're not very decisive. And I'd picked the coffee shop. I knew exactly where we were going to meet because I was going to go and get some this is more exciting, I know. Like bin bags for my food bin. I was like, yeah, sorted. I run in. I'm a little bit late, and then realize I've told them the wrong coffee shop. But it's a group of people that are like, these two girls. They know me so well, and they love me.
Uh,
They love me so hard. Do you know what I mean? That
oh,
I just thought,
yeah.
you know what? They're not going
They'll
to care.
get it.
So I phoned and went, yeah. So when I said that coffee shop, I meant this one, but I'll come to you now because you two are
Yes.
there. So that
Oh,
made me laugh. I just thought it's acceptance, isn't it, for who you are?
yes.
And I've been for
So
a therapy run.
in
Go on.
office club, do you just sit there with each other and you work through whatever you need to work through?
Yeah, it's like we used to do it like a working space. We used to do it
Okay.
for just motivation and accountability
Mm,
um and to begin with, just to get us out of the house and stuff like that. And then last week we did office club on tour. We went to the beach because it was sunny, and
yeah.
me and another mum went in the sea. She went up to like her valuables and went, "Ooh, I can't breathe." So I was like, "Yeah, get out. It's fine, you're fine." But it just made you feel alive,
Yes.
and it's an adventure, and it's just connection, and there's a lot of understanding in the group. And like today, I saw them. I showed them some of my branding and stuff like that. So
Nice.
um, other
Do you
times
do all your branding?
no, I've got a friend who has been playing around with some branding. So I'm
Nice.
in almost like there basically with it, which is really exciting. Makes it feel
Yes.
even more real because I love yours, by the way. Because obviously, like
Thank
once you
you.
start looking, isn't it? You kind
I
of notice
know.
everybody else's.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yes, did you do yours?
Yes.
Oh wow, how
Yeah,
clever
so
you!
so when I did the 6-week course with Sarah, we looked at branding and because I'd
Lush.
never done anything like that before.
Mm-mm.
So I just went on to Canva and started to play around with a few logos. Some of the logos, I will have to send them to you because they are hilarious. I was like, this is shite. But I really, there's a significance to the bear.
Mm.
So we, are family, we are known as the Kogi Bears. And my dad was like, obviously, the main Kogi bear.
Yeah,
And so I wanted to have a little nod to my dad in the logo.
love that.
He's looking out and we're
Mm.
looking out onto, the wilderness.
Yeah, new adventures. Love it.
Yeah, new adventures. And I wanted a contrast, pink and yellow, but it's really hard to choose
Oh, it feels
and
big. It
kind
feels
of
so big.
design everything.
Yes.
So have you
Yeah.
got someone to work with you and you're kind of planning some ideas with them?
Yeah, yeah. So I've always wanted. I love sunsets. Sunsets and
Yes.
sunrises are like just my instant joy. They just are my
Yeah.
instant fill me up. So I wanted that kind of like with the joy, so that the O would be a bit like a sun, like ripple, and also because I love that joy ripples. So I wanted the ripple effect over the water. So
Got it.
yeah, so it's like find your joy. So we're just kind of like playing around with that, and
Gorgeous.
yeah, I think an ocean kind of turquoisey blue maybe,
Yes.
and a at the moment it's like a hot pink, but I think we might try and see if I can do a coral, maybe like kind of more
Yeah,
like
that's
sunset. So
nice.
yeah, so watch this space. But
And then,
yeah,
like, how is that going to then kind of sit with all of your stuff? So you're gonna have a website
yes, that's the next kind of
and
like yes,
kind of get all that
yes,
sorted,
yeah, yeah. I'd love a place.
like a landing page.
Yes, a landing page. I've got so many things in my head that I'm so excited about. I
Yeah,
want to set up a membership. I want to do. I'd love
yeah,
to do like office club. I love bringing people together. I'm a people gatherer. I think
yes,
is something that I have always like the NCT gang. I've always organised them. Like, I love a get together.
yeah.
So I think it's just kind of these things you realize they've been part of you for a long time. So
Yes.
you're kind of like leaning into and maybe you've not even recognized they were strengths before, but recognizing their strengths and thinking, right, how can I use this? How can I use this for spreading?
Yeah.
Being more of a joy spreader, which is, in short, what a child called me in school. And you're like, actually, yeah, that is kind of like what it is, isn't it? Um, so I just thought it was lash, isn't it? Because when I say I'm a joy coach, people are like, what's that then? Like nicely, people go, yeah, I think you'd be great at it, Leah, which is nice. But yeah, to kind of like
It's amazing.
explain what it is. I just thought a joy spreader. That's lovely.
And I love the fact that you've taken that from one of your students because
Mm.
I feel like children they resonate at that frequency,
Yeah,
I
they do.
think.
Yeah, they do.
More
Absolutely.
often than not, I'm not saying that everybody's childhood is joyful by any stretch of the imagination, but I think we're born with that. Is it the propensity to be joyful and
Yeah,
curious and all of that sort of stuff? So you're kind of
yeah.
helping us to tap into that inner child in some ways, aren't you?
I think being childlike, like, children don't wait to be ready for joy or deserving for joy. Or, check it's okay. Like
Yeah,
they'll roll down the hill. They'll run into it. They'll like you say, like what is joyful? I think anytime one of my kids laugh at
yeah,
home, it is instant, isn't it? It's that
yeah,
infectious energy and that, or like my youngest was drawing a dinosaur story in a book and he was going through it and then I started writing some of it for him and then I went out with the other two and then got back and my husband had written some more for him and he's children's drawing it's just joy, isn't there, with childhood.
yeah,
And I think, yeah, it's like tapping into going, what did I used to enjoy as a child, and
yeah.
have I forgotten that? Have I, if I used to like drawing or I used to have time for art, maybe I should try that again. Or is there something that I've seen somebody else do that I go, gosh, that's lovely, maybe I should try that. I think it's just being open, yeah, and curious, and trying things, like.
And does would you say that like the joy is in every facet. So, like in your home design and in the clothes that you wear and the books that you read, and have you noticed that it started to infiltrate all aspects of your life?
Yeah, I can't like I think I've started more recently wearing bright colours. I think I probably didn't before, and I think it's that kind of and the whole like I said, but like dopamine dressing
Yeah,
and yeah, I think like we know people. Obviously, it's like the words that we say and things that we do, but actually, how you make somebody feel. I think that's and as a teacher, probably like how I make my class feel. What's remembered, isn't it? I think, and what you kind
absolutely.
of like leave with people. One of the mums saw me in school and went, "Oh, Lee, you must be exhausted," because I just came onto the yard like, "Morning, how you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, it must be exhausting to be you."
That's so funny. I think sometimes people can be frightened
Mm.
about it, can't they? Or not frightened, but I think some people find that quite intimidating
Mm.
when somebody's so, embracing the joy and everything about life, I think people like to be miserable.
Well, yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I'm not saying the listeners are miserable. They're not they're listening to the podcast, but I'm saying
I'm
that
glad you
some people can
clarified.
be really
Yeah.
miserable, can't they?
And so that's what, because I did a joy coaching session for staff in my old
Mm,
school, which is amazing. Like, what a privilege to start. Like, scary because they obviously know you and like to stand
yeah,
up and go, so I left you and now I'm here as a joy coach.
yeah,
But I talked to them and I was saying to them, like, and somebody said, oh, because I was saying that joy is infectious and positivity is infectious. And then somebody said, but you know what? So is negativity, so is gossip. And you're like, yeah,
yes,
actually, you're right. Being miserable or like what you look for, you'll find. So if I want to look for negative, I'll find the negative. Whereas, one of my like quotes like, if I focus on joy, I'll find it more often. So if I'm open to the glimmers, if I'm open to finding those things, if I'm loving loudly when it comes, because I know it's not all the time. I know that, so there's I think I've said to you before, but there's a point in my estate when I walk the kids to school and like that's a privilege as well. And like, turn the corner and the sun hits my face and I will always say, oh, and like, or I'll get towards the corner, I'll go to the kids, it's coming, it's coming. They obviously think I'm weird, but that's fine. I'm the mother. So, and then, turn the corner and it is, and I appreciate that now because not every day is sunny. So
mm,
actually, and for that person that asked me, Leah, are you always up? We know that the hard days are there. We know that those difficult and, those life curveballs,
Yep.
might come our way. And actually, that joy that we cultivate and that we encourage, those ordinary joys, not your Nobel peace or you're flying up to NASA,
Yes.
your ordinary joys you cultivate day to day, they fill up your cup.
Yeah.
That's what I described to the kids. So I
Yeah.
went into year one last week and I was like, we've all got like a joy cup inside us, and what we say, what we do, or things that, we do things we enjoy, they fill up our joy cup. So when they like, and then I think Susan were quite happy telling me that they'd filled up each other's cup at lunchtime or
Oh.
something. And it was really sweet. And you're like, me going off to the beach with Office Club on tour, last week, it filled up my joy cup,
Yeah.
and yes, I could have gone home and got on my laptop and just gone, actually, girls, there's so many things because I'm juggling at the moment with supply and stuff. There's
Yes.
so many things I need to move forward. And that's what my hashtag this month is like, find the fun in February because I
Yes, I love
just,
those hashtags. They're brilliant.
yeah,
What's gonna be
yeah,
March? It's
I already know. Make it
Ooh,
happen in March.
make it happen
Yeah,
in March.
yeah, yeah, baby. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, baby.
I know, sorry.
Gosh.
If you haven't realised that I am not normal, then
Oh, you are
I'm
totally normal. You're my sort of normal. I
you d
love it.
you do gravitate. Like, you
Yeah,
do
you do,
you definitely
totally.
find your
Yeah,
tribe, don't you? And you definitely find those
yeah,
people that there's just ease. I call it easy friendship, and it's
yeah.
just beautiful, isn't it? Because it's just that, you
And
know?
it happens again, it goes back to the beginning of our conversation. It happens when you really just accept who you are, you
Mm,
know,
mm.
jumper and pajama bottoms on the end, underneath the desk. Do you know what I mean? Making friends. Sorry, I'm getting tired.
No, do I? Go for it.
Making friends when you're older
Mm,
as an adult is really hard because you've been through the mill. You have probably your friends from school or
mhm.
university. So you've kind of got your gang already.
Yeah.
And so when you're out and about and maybe you're meeting mums for the first time and, all of that sort of stuff, you think, I better not show them that, or I better not tell them that because, they might be, our children might play together and therefore I need to put on a show.
Yeah.
Does that make
Yeah,
sense? So you
absolutely.
kind of, yeah, you end up holding yourself back a little bit. And,
You're not
you
authentic,
and
are you?
you and I
Completely.
had, yeah, you and I had babies during COVID. I didn't
Yes.
have mummy baby groups. All
Yeah.
of the swimming clubs were closed, intermittently opening. And so it's only now that I've started to make mummy friends, and I cannot tell you how bloody fantastic it is.
It really is. But
It
I think
really
as well,
is.
what I love is that, I hope you give yourself the grace and to go, that was hard. Like, you had a different experience to motherhood than the people had.
Mm,
Like, I think
I know. Yeah.
first time mums in lockdown, you're phenomenal. You're amazing. It was not, we are such, like when you describe it then, like, like not being able to show your real self. And there's a difference between fitting in and belonging. And I love the difference. So fitting is when you're like, you shave off a part of you, or you hold back, or you feel like, I'm not saying that opinion, or then I'll make that joke,
Yeah.
they might not get it. That kind of when you're trying to, you just kind of, yeah, you're not being really you. Is admitting that you've said the wrong coffee shop and you're like, you're gonna go,
Yeah.
I wasn't as decisive as you thought, girls, because I meant
Yeah.
the other
Yeah.
coffee. But it's just, here I am, warts and all. I know that I can show you all of me and you'll love me just the same.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe even love me more.
Yes,
Like,
I would say love me more.
yeah, and I think that's belonging. And I think, part of joy is finding that belonging, is finding people that you can just breathe out with. And
Yeah.
like, energy wise,
Yes.
I call them like your sunshine people, that they are your human sunshine and that you are just even by being near them just does something for you, gives you something. Or like seeing them on the school run and like, you had lockdown, you didn't have that, like, so you didn't have that group of friends that you were all navigating a part of life together.
Mm.
So it's okay to mourn that. It's okay to feel I didn't have that, and,
I
and
did
that's,
feel really sad for a long
mm,
time.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
when we did our live, I was saying that I was really lonely. I was really,
mm,
really lonely. And it only became more obvious when I was then made redundant because the job that I had all kind of gave me that sense of false security,
mm,
I think.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so when that was
definitely.
taken away, I was like, what do I
Yes.
do now?
Who am I now? Who am I now?
Who am I
Yeah.
now? What am I now? But thankfully, as you were saying, I have learnt how to fill the cup
Yes.
through
Yeah.
gratitude, and joy and recognizing all of that. And so I I could kind of I could navigate that on my own. I knew that I needed to make some choices, but as I said before to you, I'm an action girl. I just
Mm.
make stuff happen, and if I know that change needs to be,
Yeah.
change needs to happen.
Stop making my make it happen in March hashtag. Stop
I
making it.
know, I love this. So you're gonna go through the whole year.
Yeah,
I love
I
that.
started last year. So somebody called and Breeze Challenges. And I follow her and I follow her for years and she's really open about mental health. I think her mum died in lockdown and so that's been a big shape part of her, that kind of
Yeah,
so she does a focus not she does a hashtag, which is a certain focus each month. So I thought that's a lovely idea. That's such a
yeah, I
nice
love that.
and I think I didn't I think I just kind of stumbled into it by accident and then I've kind of like carried it on. I think that my June was just like just do it in June and
Yeah,
different ones. So I just, like, that's when my whole like jiggle for joy in January, because I know January can be a long month. You're like, well, what can I bring to people in January that's not like extra pressure and extra expectation when you're like, as if like radically, I'm going to be this new person with new
right.
resolutions and go, actually, what is just a little nudge to go, I can impact my day. Just a smidge, and I can move it forward. I don't even need to jiggle because it wouldn't be my husband's joy, but like blatantly. But I think like but you can just put a song on, like that instant a connection to nostalgia or a song takes you back to a
Yes.
place in time or to people,
Yeah,
it's beautiful. So I think that's so yeah, so I'm gonna kind of carry on with my
gonna carry that
hashtags.
on.
I'm thinking I'm just gonna carry on.
And for those people listening who perhaps didn't catch the jiggle for January and
Mhm.
maybe want to, learn a little bit more about your work and things like that. Like, so what was jiggle for January? What did you do for it?
So due for January, I just let people have the challenge of going, look, join me. I'm going to put one song on a day and do one dance. So it's just, it felt like it was so I really had this big push for like gentle January, like we're still
Yeah,
wintering and that is okay. We don't have to suddenly, like I said, radically become this new person, new energy when the whole world is still wintering and it's okay
yeah,
to honor that. I wanted to have it but I wanted to bring something and go, "Well, actually, how do I want to acknowledge it can be a difficult month. So what can we do that's in our power? That kind of go, actually, this. And I said, look, if dancing's not your thing, what other little thing, like, read a book or light a candle or,
yeah,
like little things that make a difference to you. And I think when you look at yourself, like almost on a scale of 0 to 10, like 0 as in, like really, 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 really struggling, 10, oh, I'm on top of the world, and you just think, right, I'm about a 4 today. What can I do? What do I need? And I don't think we ask ourselves that, especially mums. I don't think we ask ourselves that question, but we'll ask everybody else. We'll
yes,
check in on everyone else, but actually just sit with yourself and go, Leah, what do you actually need now? Do you need an earlier night? Do you need to mother yourself? Do you need more water? Do you just need like to walk around the block and just, if I'm finding transition hard from, work to home and I'm finding it hard to dig deep and give back again, like, do I just need to go for a walk around the block and just have a bit of me just for a minute? And then I'll come back,
yeah,
I'll be a better version of me.
yes,
That kind of, because that's what, I talked to you when I first started and I was thinking about like being a joy coach and having, my business name, like Find Your Joy. And people were like, oh, I'm talking to somebody I know really well. I was like, oh, Leah, I struggle with self care and I struggle with joy because it sounds selfish.
mm,
And I think, we really need to unpack that. We really need to change the narrative on that because when I give and I give and I give beyond what I can,
yeah,
and I just say yes to everything and I'm running around trying to be everything to everyone, I end up burnt out and exhausted. And actually, that's when I can't show up for you because I'm like running on fumes, and that's when I'm going to pull out of things that I've said yes to because actually I find out I can't, I really can't. But when I, honor the fact that I'm a human and I've got needs and it's okay to have needs and it's okay to advocate for yourself, that's when I show up differently. Um, I can give more to people or I go, right, okay, this, I'm doing this, maybe I'm going to this event or this party, whatever. I'm going to need the next day to refill my cup because that's going to take from me. Or maybe you're stepping in for family and you go, right, okay, that's challenging and it's difficult at the moment. Right, I'm going to need something before it maybe or after. And I think
mm,
it's just acknowledging that, and actually joy isn't, it ripples out. And that's what I love about it, that
mm.
actually, you, as a mum, you finding joy, your kids love nothing better,
To see you
than see,
happy.
yeah, your partners, your friends, your family. like, I think that I saw it on a reel, I think, on Instagram or something, where there's somebody at a bus stop and he's
Oh, I've
laughing
seen
his
it.
head off. Yes.
Yeah,
And everyone's like this, kind of like, just a bit moody in the morning, like, right, round the bus stop. And then one by one, they catch the laugh.
yeah,
And that's what yeah, that's what I want to bring. You're
yeah,
like, actually just catch the energy, catch the joy. What do you want to bring? And I think I've had like, and I've got my little sayings. Like I've already said, like love loudly.
yeah,
And I was at me and my husband went to a gorgeous little kind of coffee shop in between these two beaches, and it was sunny but really windy. Joe was like, "Oh, let's go drink our cup of tea inside." Like, no, no, it's sunny. I'm drinking it outside. So I had this cup of tea, and I was trying to, like, it's really windy. I was trying to like drink this cup of tea, and Joe was like, "Just put the lid on." And I was like, "No." I was like, "No, I want to drink my tea with the lid off." And I was like, oh, "I want to live life with the lid
with the
off."
lid off.
So that's kind of how that phrase is born.
How amazing. I
He
love that.
argues that he said it. I'm like, "No, I don't think you said it. It was me."
He's the joy coach.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Who
He's
is
the
this
man behind it.
imposter? Brilliant.
And it's hilarious because we're so different, me and my husband. So anybody
I'm
listening to this
so
that
glad
knows
that you
us,
said that, because
oh,
I
we're
was
so
sitting here
different.
thinking, me and my other half, Carl, we are so different, like chalk and cheese.
Yin yang. Yeah,
Yes.
completely.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yes, yeah. Have you read, I'll have to send it to you, it's a gorgeous little quote about a babbling brook and a deep, like, ravine or something, or river. And
Yeah.
basically the babbling brook, anything that goes into, like, anything they see, anything that goes to their head comes out their mouth. So
Yeah.
that's completely, as you might have guessed, that's me. Whereas the big deep, no, reservoir,
Yes.
the big reservoir will just take it all in. So me and my husband, when we were dating, so he was in Cardiff and I was in Cambridge, and it was so rude because all my friends used to be like, "Oh, you're brave." I'm like, "Excuse me, you're meant to be my friend. Don't tell him that." But then they said, "I bet he gets back in the car, Leah, and he turns everything off, and he just drives
Yes.
home in silence." I'm like, "Yeah, probably."
I love driving in silence.
Ah,
I
yes,
love
yeah,
it. I'm
yes.
really loving my silent, calm moments.
So I think that's our
Just love it.
overstimulation. I
Yeah.
think, that kind of, sometimes I'm like, I don't even want the radio on.
No.
I can't even have music. I'm like, actually, I just need that.
It's just overwhelm.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And like, let it wash over you,
You
isn't
wash it
it?
over you.
And
Yeah, exactly.
it's lovely.
He was a teacher for
Right.
15 years.
Oh,
He
wow.
was computer
Okay.
science teacher. That's how we met.
Right.
And he just had enough. He
Mm.
absolutely tapped out towards the end. He loved teaching the children. He loved being in the classroom, and he was I know that he was brilliant because he's very playful and very silly. So the kids would love that.
Yes,
But
definitely.
the kind of the politics of education, he just got too tired of. And now he's in industry and he's loving it, and
It was the right
you know,
right change, right choice.
definitely the right change for him. But I think something that kind of strikes me about you as well is that, you haven't completely come out of education. Like, you are still absolutely committed to making change and influencing, our children and their way of thinking, and helping with their mental health. And,
Mm.
I text you after our live and I said, it makes me sad to think that somebody like you has decided to come out of teaching to pursue other things, but thankfully you're still finding a way to spread joy in schools, because I do think it'd be a massive shame, Leah. I really do, for you to just leave completely, and because you're doing a lot of work now with, is it the Welsh government, and
So, yeah, I'm still kind
lots
of,
of like workshops and things like that. Do you want
yeah.
to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, I've got kind of different kind of remits. When I handed my notice back in March, I was like, yeah, that's it. I'm a joy coach. I want to work with one-to-one clients, and that's where I'm going to be at. And then I think I kind of thought, I think my head teacher at the time was talking about joy and the impact for staff. And then I started thinking, well, actually, what if I did a joy session for staff? Because it feels like joy's run out the building. And what a shame. And why? Like, and it's almost, I used to kind of explain to her that I feel like the pressure and the expectations just grow and grow and grow. So our well-being and our joy just kind of like sinks down. Whereas we just need to think, like, how can we, again, a bit like, living with the lid off, how do we just take away some of those expectations and pressures so that joy and our well-being gets a chance? And it's hard because there's also so many things outside of our control. But what I tried to do in my first joy coaching session with this group of staff, what I tried to do is give them back their control of going, it's like we're waiting for teaching to catch up with where we are with our well-being, but
Yes.
it's not there. And we don't know when that's going to be. So maybe we need to make the change first. It's almost like, you kind of get on and you've all rowing and actually
Yes.
we're all rowing harder and actually the momentum. And it's almost like no one has said, I'm not sure I can keep up with this. I'm not sure. And because it's a vocation and because people care and because they want to do their best, they keep rowing harder
Yeah.
and faster and faster. And actually, it's now at a speed people can't maintain. Their well-being suffers, their mental health suffers, their home life suffers, and actually, life's too short. We get one chance of this life. So, so I want to bring in and go. What if we could look at these pockets? What if we could bring that more into school? What joy look like in school? What are our barriers? I always tend to end a session with kind of like, what's one little start, one little stop that you could do that make a difference for you now? And just to give people back that kind of power. I also did a Welsh Gov chat. They have a group called Mind Matters, which is brilliant, and they have internal and external speakers. So they had me in January, and it was the day after Blue Monday, and it was and it was my passion of like find the joy in the ordinary. And there's just a gorgeous poem about that. And just, like, don't teach our children to strive for the extraordinary lives, but, teach them the joy of the ordinary, teach them to enjoy, tomatoes and apples and
Mm.
let them grieve people that they
Yeah.
lose. And, and basically end saying, because extraordinary will take care of itself. And that's exactly that, but I think with teaching, it's so tempting to go, I'll do that in half term or I'll,
Yes.
and it's like, oh, weekend or and we keep moving our joy, we keep moving it. But we don't have that promise,
No.
and I told somebody at Christmas time, and they said they felt like they'd found themselves again, but then they were sad because they know they had to put themselves back in a box,
Yes.
for the next half term. And I want to question that. I want to challenge that. I want to.
I had the same conversation today with a colleague of mine, and they simply said, "I can't wait for half term because I get
Mm,
to be me again.
mm,
I get to be human." And I said,
yeah,
"It's a real shame that we live our lives like that,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because we only have the now."
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And actually, so often you get to the holidays and you're so burnt out and so exhausted. That's when you get ill. You're trying to get all your appointments done. At the time you relax, you're back. And I just
I know.
think, yeah, So
It's
I'm
just crazy, isn't it?
yes. So I'm excited because I think this coming year I've got another school that I'm going to start
Yeah.
doing joy coaching sessions with, which is
Good.
amazing. Which is a school linked to my heart.
Yeah.
My kids' school, which is amazing.
Amazing.
So, and I'm speaking at the education show
I
in
know.
October. And that was so here's what I'm like definitely proud of because it's scary, but I've just been chucking my hat in the ring, whichever ring I can
Yes.
find.
I
I'm
love
just
it.
like make it happen in March. So I've just
Yes.
been so I've
In
been so
February.
in February, yeah, absolutely. Too
Make it
right.
happen in March and February and
And
all of the other months.
every day. Yeah, yeah. Just go for it. But I just think, if you don't ask, you don't get. So I went to it for the first time last
Yeah.
year, and I wore like a bright blue dress, and I wore a leopard print jacket, and I wore like colourful necklace. I felt like I am
Yes.
going as the joy coach,
I
and
love
I
it.
loved it. And I walked around, and I smiled at people, and so you have like the stalls, and then there's seminars, and I came out of it just buzzing that I just made some contacts, and I love just introducing myself as the joy coach to anybody that winked at me or made any kind of eye contact. I was like, hi. So, and then I just thought, what if I applied then to do a seminar next year? So I'm doing two.
Not just one, I'm
No,
doing
I'm doing
2.
two.
I
Doing
love
two.
that. So
So
how
yeah.
are they gonna be so are you gonna repeat the same seminar, or are you gonna be
No,
doing 2 completely different ones?
no, two completely different ones. And I
Wow.
think it's kind of one is, helping kind of unlock joy in education. And then another one's like helping like leaders. I've got the titles, but like typical, I can't. I should know them by
That's
now. But
okay.
I
We
think
can put
part of me
them in
is
the
like,
show notes.
yes, okay, lush,
And
yeah, yeah,
then
yeah, absolutely,
will people be able to, so we can put the website in as well so people can like log
yes,
on
yeah,
and go, and are you coming this way to Joe's
yes, network,
networking
yes,
event? Because
yes.
she texted me and she was like, she's coming all the way from Wales. And I was like, I
I know.
know, this is amazing.
So that again, that was asking. Like I tell you what, it's amazing. I think yeah. So I've connected with Joe through my. Oh, where do I start? Yeah. So last year May, and it was mental health week, and it was move more for your mind. So instantly I thought, well, what's my go to move well, it's dancing. Do you know what I mean? It's like always my best
Yeah.
exercise is always dancing because it's just so joyful for me. And I can't pace myself and I'm all out. Do you know what I mean? I'm all in. You know, I'm none of this two-stepping. I'm like, yeah, I'm there. So like move aside Beyonce. But anyway, so that's kind of like I started, I think I did a couple of videos or something. And then I just had this idea of like, why didn't I just do a dance? Zoom. So and we can
Oh,
come.
brilliant.
We've had somebody coming in from Australia. That was like my one of my mates from uni. How amazing! And then Portugal, I think we've had. And yes, I did it, and I've gone on to my ninth this February. So like a week Wednesday is my next Dance for Joy, and it's movie
Yeah.
themes this time. So because Oscars in February, it's like
Yeah, of
yes,
course.
something you do, Dancing Grease, all of those. And it's just I do it on a random Wednesday once a month, and it's from your home to remind people that you matter. That it doesn't have to
Mm.
wait till the weekend. Your joy doesn't put off, and it just take up the space. Come as you are, and just the energy and seeing people find freedom. And I think the first time people feel a bit self conscious, but then they
Yeah.
just don't care, and I'm going for it. So yeah, I'm the DJ, and it's just connection again, isn't it? And
Yes.
it's basically it's everything I stand for in one little 20-minute hit every
Yeah.
month.
I was
So
gonna say, how long was it? But for 20 minutes, you can just dance and, connect with people over the internet, and I think that's incredible.
yes,
There's a lot of technology gets a bad rep, I think, for a lot of reasons,
yeah.
and, but it has opened things up for us all
Well,
because
that's how I met
we
Joe.
would never have met,
Yeah,
you know?
and I think that's what I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating the
Yeah,
people, like I said earlier about sunshine people. There are sunshine people
yeah,
online. Like, who are your
yeah,
sunshines? Who, by seeing what they're putting out there, by seeing their videos, make you feel real, make you feel seen, make you feel heard, make you feel loved. Who are those for you? Tap into them. And if people that aren't doing that, then don't follow them. Or if you're getting too
yeah,
much, like comparing
yeah.
too much, put your phone down and do
Yes.
something different. You're
I
like,
find that
and
so difficult.
it is difficult. So I've started leaving my phone in a different room because I don't trust myself. So there's app blocks which I probably need to start, and I keep meaning to do it, and I haven't done it yet. So what I'll try and do is so this is my kitchen area.
Mm,
I
it's
like
lovely.
I like leave it. I'll leave it in here, and I'll go because if I'm watching TV, it's too tempting. My
It
thumb's
is.
just too. So I'm trying to just mother myself a bit more and go right, Leah, what do I need? But anyway, the question you actually asked was
Can't
yes.
even remember the question I asked.
Are you impressed? I'm quite impressed with myself.
I remember a thing.
I met Jo
Oh, yes.
through online dancing. So that was it. And then she obviously does gorgeous networks.
Yeah.
And then and yes, I just said, Jo, I'll come to your network, I'll be a speaker. And then you kind of she's got it all booked for the next couple of months. I went,
Yeah.
I'm not putting it off because I thought I could wait. So
Yeah.
now let's just do it. And I'm gonna meet up with Anna as well, which is just amazing because I'm going to try not to fangirl over her, but I can't promise anything. She knows. I think she probably guess what I'm like. So yes, I'm staying at hers, and we're going to just do a bit of like I'm going to help with life and just walk and talk, and
Yeah.
a lot of what I do and a lot of what I say has been significantly shaped by her. So
Mm.
that's pretty amazing. But
Yeah.
again, if you don't ask,
That's it.
you don't.
You don't get. And it
Yes.
does make me think all of these amazing people I want to meet and all of these, like, so many
Mm.
different ideas that I have. I just think, oh, I would love to just hand that resignation in and really lean into what is bringing me so much joy at the
Yeah.
moment, which is the podcast and chatting to everybody.
But look
But
how brave you've already been.
yeah,
Look,
that's true.
like you
It has only
this
been,
time
it's not even
last
a
year.
year yet.
Exactly. But this time last year, if you told yourself what you'd been doing,
Yes.
and I think I try and do that because I will often berate myself for not being further down the road or, oh, I should be doing this or I haven't really, and then I go, Leah, what would I say to myself this time last year or 2 years ago?
Yeah. Yeah.
That Welsh Gov Zoom chat that I did, like 175 people came
I
on for
know,
that,
it's
which is just
crazy.
phenomenal. But I'd never have believed I could do that, and but what a privilege to share, your passion and this podcast. Look at the paths you are creating. You are living your brand. You are
Yes.
following the path less traveled, and because
Mm.
you're finding your joy,
Yeah.
and it's okay to take your time with that. It's okay to kind of go. I'm going to just see where this leads, and when I'm ready and
Yeah.
the right time, I can jump all the way in. You know.
It is true. It is true. I felt like that was a moment. Oh.
I know. I'm going to
Oh.
went. And now I shall lead us with interpretive dance.
People won't be able to see this. Have you seen, I showed Carl the other day. It's like, there's a video of a guy who is doing interpretive dance in order to watch Netflix or something, or he wants to play on his Xbox, and his wife has said, you can only play
Amazing.
on your Xbox if you do an interpretive dance. So he comes out of the bathroom, like, doing all of this leaps and the music and everything. Oh God, it really
That's
made me laugh.
amazing. Oh,
I suppose that there's a question here about the resources and the tools that you're maybe developing alongside your brand. Obviously you're going to be doing workshops and
mhm.
your online sessions, but is the hope to create sort of resources or like workbooks or something, journal based things that people can actually have to then take them down this road of joy?
Yeah, I think I'm going down that kind of just
Mm,
journal prompts and
yeah,
reminders, and I think I'm looking and researching now, kind of almost like a £5 a month kind of membership,
yeah,
something that I could then offer, because I want it to be, you don't even need to think about it almost, that kind of like that you're going to go, look, it's a coffee and a cake, but
yes,
price wise.
yeah,
But each month, I get something that's going to help me, ground me, like, and then I could
yeah,
maybe offer lives or something within that
yeah.
membership, like once a
Oh,
month,
that's a good
like like
idea.
an evening with a joy coach, and
Yeah.
I be recorded and members can get that. Yeah,
And
so
are you
that's kind
gonna
of,
do one-to-one as well?
yeah, so I've got like a one-to-one kind of coaching clients as well. I'm coaching a client at the moment, like a head teacher, which is amazing. Because that's my program. So it's two-pronged. It's the coaching staff, but alongside that, coaching the head teacher, because what's really lonely, isn't it? I remember listening
Yeah,
to a podcast and my doctor saying, there's a board. So if anything happens, they're kind of all there. But actually, when you think about teaching, a lot comes, doesn't it, to the head teacher, and that
yeah,
can be lonely. So, what about their joy? What about their
yeah,
well-being? And actually, how
absolutely.
can you encourage that to the staff? It's got to,
Yeah.
let's ripple it down. Let's.
Yes, I would say in some ways it has to start there in
Mm,
some way. Almost actually like a concertina effect. It has to come
yes,
from the top, but also the people at the bottom who are sort of trying to get the workings of it going
yeah,
on a day-to-day basis, and then you need somebody at the top that's got the vision
yes. I was like saying, there's
for
like
the
almost
school.
three strands of joy in school.
Yeah,
There's kind of like, the leadership, what they can do externally, but then there's also what you bring, every person. We've got a responsibility with, like you said, like, what we bring, our energy, and,
yeah,
what we focus on. If you focus on the negative, that's what we find. If you focus on the positive, especially in school at the moment, like, what, so let's have a look. What are the positives? Let's focus on those. How can we encourage them? But also then individually, how is your own joy? I've got responsibility for my joy. How am I cultivating it? How am I, is there connections? So I think, in terms of tips and tools,
mm,
I'm definitely finding things that are key to our joy, like, connections with others. We've talked about belonging. Sometimes you can't see the person you really want to see. So, like I said, one of my friends, all the way in Australia, my best mates from uni, and she's massive in shaping who I am, and especially with dance. So we've got
yeah.
so many things. Like just now, I was in the shower, and
Did
I had,
you?
and as I do, and I played her. We made a playlist, so she's shared with me on Spotify, and I just playing, and instantly it takes you back to uni. You're like,
Yeah.
so I think it's that those connections, even just sending somebody a message can
Mm,
do something for you. So, I'm trying to develop my relationship with rest, because I think we don't honor rest. We see rest as a reward, as something you've got to get to, instead
mm,
of realizing that actually you're deserving of rest now. And that so often rest first, and then actually
mm.
creativity, and like how many teachers rest, like how many mums rest. So I see mums and teachers, very similar
Very
people.
similar.
So that's probably why, and like my heart's at both. So I think it's that kind of, we put ourselves right to the bottom of the list, and,
Mm,
and you're like, oh, and how many times we go, I'll just do this, or I'll just do this, I'll just. And
mm,
actually, all we're doing is, but you know what? Let's just stop, and let's make ourselves stop, and
mm.
let's let it wait. And that was my message of going to the beach last week. My list was huge, but I left it because otherwise I'll never get to me. So I think it's just that changing that, like, and you deserve the joy. And I always end most of my posts, especially when I dance for joy. I'm like, this is here because you matter and your joy is important too. Like I think it's just, that's what I want to shower over people.
Yeah.
Like, and I know it sounds a bit like I'm on Jerry Springer, but I just like, I'm there, like, but I'm
I
still
used to
going to go
love
for it.
that. I used to
Absolutely.
love watching Jerry Springer. My God. But yeah, it's true. The to-do list will
Always be
be
there.
there when you get back.
Yes.
There's always something to do.
And I think when you come to the, if we're gifted to our 80s or 90s, it is time and relationships with people. I think you asked me like,
Yeah,
how was my teaching? How has it shaped who I am as a joy coach? I've always been about relationships. So I think I'm like, like like a rock. If you cut me in half, like I'm like, joy relationships. It's all kind of there, energy, laughter, like that kind of, because relationships with the children, relationships with the parents, relationships with LSAs you work with, relationship.
yeah,
It's not money or people at the end. It's time. It's with the people that matter, and that's why I'm like, love loudly. You know, you know, we lost somebody really dear to us in our family, and the things that came out about him at his funeral, and I just thought, oh gosh, wow, that's just so gorgeous. And he, kept being referred to as like the kindest man, and he just gorgeous. And there's these beautiful things. And you think, why do we wait, until somebody's not here to say all these things? So that's why I think I told you on the live that like, my husband said, you
yeah,
can't say love loudly, Leah, it sounds rude. Well, I don't care. I'm saying
yeah.
it. I'm owning it. I'm
Love
like,
loudly.
let's love loudly, because you don't know. And actually, can you be told too many times, or can you, exactly. Yeah, I'm all for, and I often, when I've got a decision to make or I'm thinking about something, I'll think, will I regret it? Will I regret not doing it? So, joy coaching. Would I regret not following this path? Yeah, I definitely would regret not doing it. So I'm doing it.
Mm.
You're like, will I regret not asking? Yep, let's do it. That kind of, it's
Yeah,
just that, it's just a little thing that kind of go, right, will I regret it? Okay, let's just go for it. There's a little, like cavern I kind of swam through in this gorgeous beach last year in West Wales. And I was like, oh, it was a bit scary. And I thought, Leah, you'll regret not doing it. So, so he's
yeah.
just, yeah, you just got to,
Just
yeah,
gotta go for it.
exactly, exactly.
I just love it. I honestly love it. I wanted to I want to do the "You
Oh,
got this"
yes,
cards. Can we do
yes,
this?
yes, please. Yeah. I love
Because
these.
I just love these. Because I told you about these, didn't I?
Yeah, no, tell me a bit more about them, because I don't know if I know completely.
So they were given to me by the group of sixth formers who I
That's
was
it.
working with
Yes.
on their devised work. And
Mm.
actually that piece itself was about beginnings and endings. And yeah,
Hmm.
it was really beautiful.
All significant.
Yeah, I know, and it was a very organic sort of devising process, and I kind of came back to myself, and I found the joy in teaching again because I felt like I'd lost it. So they gave me these because we use them in every rehearsal. Anyway, I'm going to shuffle them, and then I'm going to take the top card whenever you
Okay.
say "stop." I don't
Oh,
know
I
what that
love
accent
it.
was. Stop.
I like that bit of Sean Connery. I liked it. Okay. Stop.
Okay.
In the name of oh, sorry, I'll just always go into something. Or like, stop and then listen.
My gosh.
Yes, always. Oh, I tell you what, certain songs, yeah, absolutely. Ice,
So
ice, baby, gone, sorry.
the card that has come up is simply "I am important."
I love it. So I introduced a mantra to my old school.
Yeah.
So every child, so it was a deprived area of Cardiff. So, and I watched The Help. I'm not sure if you've seen it, and it's beautiful, and it kind of came from there. So every child, every day gets told, "I am loved. I am important. I am strong. I am special." And I also always add, "And from Mrs. Evans, you are lush," because they just need those words. But actually, and I was kind of using it with Year 6 last week, and just saying, like, what? What mantra do you need to hear? Like, what do I need to hear when I am having a bad day, or I'm facing something outside my comfort zone, or what do I need to hear? Like these conversations we have with ourselves, I'm important, I matter. These are important to say and to keep saying to ourselves, because we forget them so often. So, yeah, so we're important. Love it.
Yeah. Lush.
Lush.